In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a form that auto-populates a spreadsheet. So first of all, we go in and create a new form, give it a name, and we then put in a few questions. So you may have, which department are you part of? Obviously there are more, but for the sake of time, I'm just going to leave it at those. If you were to have this as an information document of some variety, where we've wanted to check that they've read X, Y, and Z, you may be thinking, why are we not putting in their names? Why are we not putting in their email addresses here? It's going to do that for us. And also, we don't really want them putting typos into their student numbers and things like that. So this is going to allow us to collect it properly. From there, we want to go to Office and we want to open up Excel. We're going to make a new blank workbook. We're going to call it as well Power Automate Test. We're going to put in what we've got on our form. I'm also going to insert email address, name, and date submitted, so we know when they've done it. So we now need to make this a table. So we highlight those, we click insert, and then we click table. My table has headers, yes. Okay. Now that we've done that, return to office.com, go on to all apps, and you're looking for the big blue chevron for Power Automate. It takes a little bit of time to load. And whilst you're doing things, you may get pop-ups asking you to sign in, asking you to choose your country of origin. Obviously, set it to United Kingdom, and you decide whether you want to have the emails from them or not. Click Create, click Automated Flow, and we'll give it a name. So this is Power Automate Test. There are lots of different options here for how you can do things. So you can do it when you get a new email, when somebody mentions you in Teams, when you create a file in OneDrive, when files are modified, when OneNotes are changed. All sorts of different options there for you for how you can start these things off. So we're going to select when a new response is submitted, and then we're going to press create. And that brings us here. So now it's asking for form ID. So you're going to pick your form. Now, this is a form that you have created, so it'll be in your form IDs down here. As we scroll down for it, you'll be able to see it's here, Power Automate Test. So let's click that. Now say it was one that you hadn't personally created. Well, for that, if you look at its address up here, there's a load of stuff there, and then it says here, form ID equals. If you copy everything after that equals sign and plop that into this part as enter custom value. So we've chosen the form when something happens there. Now we need to take that information out of there. So in this search connectors and actions, we're going to type the word form and we're going to click get response details. So again, here's our unique identifier and just proving to you that that code works. I'm going to enter custom value. I'm going to paste that in again. And then in response ID, this box called dynamic content comes up at the side. And we're going to click response ID there. We then want a new step. And we want Excel Online Business. Now, if that's not showing there, just type in Excel. And you see there's lots of different options here. And what we want is add a row into a table. Now, our location, it's going to bring a drop down for us. Now, I've saved this in my OneDrive, so it's going to be OneDrive for Business. If you've saved it in a team, you'll have to find the team in this thing here. So it'll actually be in SharePoint site because that's where it saves them. Let's go OneDrive for Business. Then the document library, again, because it's on OneDrive for me, it's going to be OneDrive. If you were going into a team, it would give you the option of general and then the various different channels that you have. The file, we click this little folder icon here and it lets us browse through the files. So let's find our Power Automate test. There it goes. And then select a table from the drop down. There we go, Power Automate Test. And you can see it's pinged open all those columns from the table. So date submitted, let's click here. And here's our dynamic content coming through. And I want to put the submission time in. Clicking, I'm going to ignore name for now. I'll show you how to sort that one out in a moment. For email address, we want our responder's email. Curriculum area, what department are you part of? Have you read X, read Y, read Z? It's quite straightforward, as you can see. None of these here are giving us the student name. So we're going to have to put another step in. So let's click this plus here, add an action. I'm going to type in user. I'm going to see this Office 365 users, and the one that I want is get user profile v2. Now in the user UPN, I'm going to click here, and I'm going to choose responder's email. So that'll allow us to then get information about them that we have stored on our system. So if I click back into the add a row into a table, I go to name, scroll down on this small one here, and I'm looking for display name there. For students at iCollege, the other bits don't work, but for staff, they do. So you could get the department, you could get the line manager, things like that from here. And that is it now done. So if I press save, and then up here, top right, I press test, and I'll perform the trigger action. I'm going to have to go to the form up here, click preview, and start ticking things and submit. Back to the flow, and it says they've all succeeded. So let's have a look. There it is. It's put in the date and time I've submitted it. It's put my name in. It's put my email address, and it's put my responses.